Hey guys, welcome back to the Call Me Larry podcast. This is Richard, your nut-loving producer for your favorite Larrys, who also happens to be a squirrel. We interrupted the last episode for an emergency tree removal, so I could stock up on acorns for the winter. If you haven't heard the first half of The Girls Downstairs, go give it a listen and tune back in. Let's get back to the action and more Call Me Larry shenanigans.
So we're talking about how, from our perspective, how we ended up getting caught. Really, it was Jason who got caught. I was a good sport about it, and I felt really bad, but I'm so grateful that I didn't get in trouble with the school and everything, even though it was just a slap on the wrist.
Good for you.
My wallet took a serious dent at that point in time. I was just using my work study and whatever else I could get, selling.
We were sharing everything at that point.
I was selling your foot picks at that point, while you were sleeping. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what was it like living underneath us and having to deal with this whole situation? Like, there has to be some kind of outside perspective.
Well, the funny thing is, the RAs in our U, I guess you'll call it, decided to do just a flat interrogation of everyone in the U.
It must have been intimidating. Someone who's 2 years younger than you is like,
yeah.
Are you part of this tree removal service? Did you take the tree out of the ground? I'm sorry. No, I weigh 100 pounds soaking wet and I'm 5 feet tall.
So one day we're sitting at home and we actually get a knock on the door and an RA is asking if we know anything about a tree that was removed from the U.
And you know too much about the tree.
And naturally you get a little nervous because of course I know everything about it was removed.
Oh, sorry, RA. Look at my phone. Here's the video footage of that happening.
Yeah. But like the good little non-snitches we are, we said we knew nothing and sent them on their merry way.
Others are not as strong as you.
We're OGs.
That's
real ones. I think we should get a little respect.
You are real ones.
Oh, yeah. We didn't know this until now, so you get all our appreciation. But so the RAs came around, they questioned everyone. Maybe that's when you got turned in, dude, because the guy was like, I'm not dealing with this, right? You guys. So, Tal and Ashley, was it Sam who answered the door? You guys weren't home for that whole interaction?
We might have been home.
I think we might have been home, but we weren't, right by her at the door. I feel like we just kind of shouted, yeah, we don't know.
I had a couple people that told me. They're like, yo, they asked me. I got you.
Yeah, they had a little investigation going.
Yeah, I didn't know that until now, but I could totally see. So, the RA comes to the door, Sam answers the door. You guys in the back oh, no, we don't know. And then your fourth roommate, who's unfortunately not here right now, I was like,
are you talking about Jason with the tree?
Oh, man, I could totally see that happening. Have you guys ever had any other experiences with, issues with, fuck that bush. It needs to be moved over there.
Destroying property.
Yeah, literally. Free landscaping services. We might do it blackout drunk, but it'll get done.
Sophomore year, we were driving. So it was Sam and I driving, and then in the other car was my friends from home and someone else that we went to school with.
Where we went to school, they owned 2 off-campus properties. One was an apartment complex that had multiple buildings. It was one side of the campus. The other one was a little bit further away, and it was an old hotel that they had essentially just taken over, and students lived there. Yeah. And so you're driving from one end to the other all the way across.
So we're pulling down the street, and there's, bushes, and I don't know, it's really, a strict, right turn. So if you don't know about this turn, you don't know it's coming. So Sam and I are driving.
They were trying to race us.
Yes. Sam and I are driving.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa. I know where you drove. You drove down a normal one-way street, back and forth, one lane. You drove over a fucking bridge that is a mile long, and then you drove it down another one-way street.
Only at the end they were trying to race us, not the whole time.
Oh, just on the bridge, okay.
So just when we
that makes it comfortable.
Turn down the street from, to turn into
okay,
point.
Yeah.
So, again, since they didn't know that it was coming up fast, they pass us, Sam and I, and they take a sharp right turn, and they didn't make the turn, so they end up on top of the island, on top of bushes.
So the island is the kind of barrier in the middle where you would turn around to go down the street you want, if you're going at normal speed.
Yes. There was 2 lanes. You could go, when you turned in, you had to go sharp right, and when you were getting out, you had to go around the island and then go, you know what I'm saying? You out.
It dictates which direction you're
exactly.
going.
Exactly. So since he didn't know, he was just oh, shit, and, went to go turn and then ended up, on the island, on top of bushes. And they weren't even, I don't need like flowers. No, like they were like rooted.
hedges.
You wouldn't think that they were that hefty, but the car was elevated off of the ground.
I feel like I've heard about this without knowing that it was you guys.
Well, no.
No, I think I heard it in passing. I was like, who would have driven their car up on that island? Like, how do you do that? Like, come on. It's so easy.
I saw a car that this exact same thing happened to, but at the time, I didn't know that it might have been this. It could have been a different time.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I was talking about. Was it a pickup?
I don't know what kind of car was it.
No, it was the Chevy.
No, when you saw it.
I don't remember, but it was just I was like, oh shit, the guy missed his turn. Like,
I feel like this might have happened more than once. Something tells me it did.
many people raced on that road. But anyway, keep going with your stories.
So the car was like teetering like on the bush. Like he couldn't drive over, he couldn't back up. Like
saplings.
Yeah, so as this happened, like Sam and I are literally behind them. Like we see like the whole thing happen. We like pull in. Sam and I go over, and at first I didn't think it was that bad, but like then as we could see, it was teetering. Like there was no way of it getting off. So then, of course, one of the RAs was in the butt hut and came running over when it saw
the butt.
Wait, is that name universal?
No.
To be fair, I feel like we call things butt huts a lot, but I feel like that's not the common term for it.
I went to school freshman year, and it was the gazebos were called butt huts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a gazebo, butt hut, whatever you may call it, wherever you are. But the butt hut was our thing. We said that all the time. It's like, yo, I'll meet you at the butt hut.
Right.
Yo, bro, yeah, let's do this. So
But some of the butt huts had nicknames. So for example, where my dorm was freshman year, the butt hut at the bottom of it, right, we called the Grundle. And it's like, why do you... so for those that know what the Grundle is, the taint, the ABC, the ass ball connector, anything like that, the highway between many things, is where do you meet the shadiest people? The Grundle. You're like, this is where you go, and it's like, dude, I went there, and this guy was just like, dude, I lost my earrings, I don't know where they are. We spent like 30 minutes trying to find it. He goes, oh, I'm wearing it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, apparently I'm a little bit too fucked up to have like realized that you were still wearing both earrings. That's my bad. But like the fact that I was like, oh, I'm gonna help you out, like. But yeah, anyway, the butt hut is where the RA was.
So the RA comes running over, and he's like freaking out, obviously. He calls like public safety. Public safety comes. Then we had to call AAA.
Public safety was the on-campus police.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
And at this point, Sam and I started like running back to like our dorm because we were like, I'm not gonna get written up for this. Like he can take the
Sounds
blame.
like me with the tree.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm out.
So then, I think like I ended up going back out there. The RA like asked who they were there with, and like they didn't end up giving my name, but I was standing right there.
Sure.
It was like a whole mess. So then finally, AAA came like 3 hours later, and they had to like literally pull the car off this bush, and the bush was annihilated. Like there was like stalks, like there was nothing left to this bush, and like
just the bare wood.
They give it a nice trimming.
it was roots.
You're gonna ask for payment at that point. It's like, I provided services rendered. You pay me for the work.
So he ended up getting charged from Roger, and I think it was like, I want to say it was like $350 or like $400, and like we went back like.
Sounds like a standard fine for shrubbery.
for plants removal.
Do you think that they just have like a huge ass binder of like appropriate fees for damage done?
Probably.
They're like lampshade, $200.
Yeah.
Any sort of landscaping, $361.
Yeah.
Universities? No. I think so, because universities have weirdly very specific and like complicated rule sets. It's like, oh, if this happens, this. There's someone that's job is to think of all these scenarios and prepare and document and write up all these, because it's somewhat government, somewhat state, right? And they need to have books and everything. It's crazy how in depth some of these, like, I feel like universities are almost their own countries.
Yeah.
There's so many details.
They dictate the financing to their will. They're like, fuck it. Like,
yeah, so I totally believe it's like they have
They're
a
like,
written
it's
list.
not under S for shrub. Try T for trees. Go back to B for bushes. Oh!
It's like, we've never seen tree before. Why don't we combine shrub and bush? Times 1.5.
You gotta assume that also on the other end is like the people who are running the university are looking at this book and they're like, they did something so stupid that it's not in the book. So now we have to create a new line.
That's the other side. That's the other side of these universities. That when you think about these individual countries that are universities.
Sure.
They also have individual citizens that do things that no one else has ever done, right? How many times do you see in the news something that's like college student, takes macaroni, puts it on satellite, and like lights it on fire, like just something random. It's like stuff that's like no one has done this. It's the same thing as if you went to like Florida. It's like Florida Man. It's like you look at Florida Man. There's something for all of it, right? Yeah. So these universities that are their own entities are dealing with so much bullshit. It's like so many crazy things that no one has dealt with before. So I respect it in its own regard.
I give it, but I'm just telling you right now, $350, whatever it was, is not, like, you could get a tree for $69.99. Like, there's no need for that. But, we have been talking about this all night. We talked about it on an episode previous to you guys coming on. Studying abroad, was a great time in all of our lives. Jason didn't go abroad. He did go to Japan and London.
I made up for it on the back end.
He had his time, but he didn't go in school. And so I think there's a story that, we should address the elephant in the room at this point with a story that happened between myself, Tal, and Sam when I was studying abroad and they came to visit. Well, you were visiting me, but you were in Spain. You ended up in Barcelona. There's another person who's not here right now who's involved in this story, as well as, actually, I guess there were two people. But, I guess we'll speak for them. So I will be the defense, y'all shall be the prosecution, and we will go from there.
I love how you're proactively making it like a jury. It's like this is a court reading. I am the defendant, you are the prosecutors.
Why do you think
we are the jury.
Why do you think I said I was nervous from the get-go? If we had video going right now, everyone listening or watching could see, like I am moist. Like, I'm not ready.
He's sweating. I see beads on his neck right now.
All right, I like to think I'm a good guy, but this was definitely not my finest moment. There was a reason why this happened, which I don't know if I've told the girls, but it will get brought up later on. It doesn't excuse what happened, that by no means, but there was a reason why this night went down how it went. So I'm going to leave it to the girls to explain what happened, what the whole night was. I'll give a little bit of details, but I think that this was like 4 years ago. So at this point, they're like, yo, fuck you.
You've given enough time to ease the wound.
Now, mind you, like, I have seen, actually, I think it was like this past year, there has been plenty of shade thrown on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, much of which I deserved. I have never defended myself as I will tonight. So for the viewers' entertainment, have at it, ladies.
I think it will be nice and therapeutic to just get it all off the chest.
Some cathartic.
Yeah, we'll let it all out, and then it'll make us stronger.
They've been holding a grudge all these years.
I'm looking at both of them, and I've only heard Zack's side of this story, so I'm very interested to hear the other side. Well,
I've only heard this side too. So.
So we are the jury.
Yeah.
We're the jury. We have to determine who the guilty verdict is.
So Tal and Sam will be the prosecution. Zack is the defense, and Ashley and Jason are the jury, and they shall decide the verdict.
Yes. Okay.
Excellent. So the prosecution, as always, will start first.
Okay. So Sam, you're gonna have to jog my memory.
I was hoping you'd jog mine. You
You guys can jog each other's.
You and I went, and our third party went to dinner that night, and then we were meeting Zack and friends later.
So the backstory is that we were all studying abroad at the same time. Zack was in Barcelona, Sam was in Granada, and Tal was in Italy. Or in Florence.
Yes.
Right? And so we can say our other friend's name. So
Ayla.
Ayla was with them, so she also came from Florence, right?
Yes.
And so I believe you were visiting Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, but you all came to Barcelona in some way.
Well, we all wanted to go to Barcelona in general. Tal had actually
you
planned.
weren't the reason they went.
So Tal planned this trip to Barcelona. She mentioned it to me. I was able to also fly out from, the southern part of Spain and meet them there. So, and we obviously decided that we would meet up with you because we felt bad for you.
I don't like how this is going.
You sit and listen.
So we were staying in our own accommodations, but we made plans for the night to get together, reminisce on some good times. It was going to be great. We were going to have so much quality time together. We just talked about how excited we were to spend the night with you, Zack, and really
Oh, you were excited to hang out with me, but you felt bad for me? Something's not adding up here.
No, listen, we sat around and we were like, it's going to be so nice to just have this whole night with Zack.
Yes, we were back in America.
Yeah. We were back in the 310, 309, we were ready to go. We were excited.
I got a picture of all of you guys.
Yes! Because we were so excited, Jason.
Yeah. And it wasn't Zack that sent it. It was you guys.
Yes, see? Put that in the record.
Evidence number A1.
Take it away.
So we went out to dinner, and I don't remember how we got to them. Remember
we met at that weird
brewery?
Yes.
So I'll tell you. So what happened was you guys went to dinner. Ayla was actually the one who texted me and was like, "Yo, we're in Barcelona." I was like, "Oh, fuck it, let's go. Like, let's hang out." Apparently, you felt bad for me the whole time. But I was like, "Oh, my friends, we hang out now." And they're like, "Oh, charity case. Might as well put this on my 401k and write it off."
We all sat around like, should we text Zach?
What a bag of dicks. So what happened was you guys went to dinner and I was hanging out with another person that I was friends with who was also in Barcelona with me, and I had kind of like proposed it to the whole group of people that I was there with. I was like, hey, these girls are coming from Italy, like why don't we go hang out with them? I ended up getting one person to come with us, just the way it went, right? And so we ended up meeting at we were on Las Ramblas, which is the very long street that's in Barcelona. For those listening who kind of know where that is, like it's a very social atmosphere. There's two streets on either side, but it's really for walking, for social interaction, and there's a lot of stores and people trying to sell you stuff and steal your fucking wallets and stuff on the same street. So we met in an area near there, and then I believe we all took the subway to this bar that was down by the water, which was known for its like kind of beer towers, and you could end up getting draft in front of you. So it wasn't a pitcher, it was like this big thing that you could literally just open up and, everybody had a beer in front of them. It was pretty cool.
I'm confused. What is this treasure box of beer? So I'm trying to imagine this. I'm struggling.
It's like a sangria tower, but instead of sangria, it's draft beer.
And it has
huge.
It has a little tap that you open up and you have little glasses. So like in between, so I don't know how much it was, but between like 5-6 people, whatever it was, and you all had plenty of beer and alcohol in front of you.
Mm-hmm. So then we decided to go to a club.
Wait, I think Zach decided that he wanted to go to the club because he knew someone that was going to get us all in. It was going to be so lit. We were going to go to the club. He's like, guys, come on, I swear. Yeah, we have a table of the whole. We know the guy. I'm going to text him right now. Put our names on the list.
All right, at this point, I'm going to let them just fucking pick me apart, and then I will tell from the bar on to what happened in my perspective, and the jury shall decide what the true verdict is.
So now we walk into the club. I don't remember how. So we got there from the subway.
We either walked or took the subway.
Okay.
I know where we went.
How is the Barcelona subway, by the way?
Clean.
Yeah,
nicer than ours.
Definitely nicer than New York or anywhere in the North.
We talked about that already. Subways in New York, not great, or in the States. So it wasn't. It was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So we get to the club and. Did we wait in a line? I don't remember.
We did wait in a line, but it was a list. So the bouncer had a list, and then whatever, Zach or your friend, I forget who it was, just said our names, and they let us all in. It was very seamless. I don't even know that we paid. We might have, or we might not have.
We didn't pay, and I'll tell you why when I get my turn to talk.
Okay. So now we end up in the club, and the way that the club was set up, it was just a wide open space, and there was sections roped off on the side. So we're in the club, it's Sam, Ayla, and I just remember, Sam, you can jump in at any time, turning and seeing Zach across the room. So we're let's go see Zach. That's kind of why we're here. So we go over.
We felt bad for him. He planned the
night. So now we go over to this.
Say hi.
He got us into the club. Might as well marinate.
So we go over to this section, and it's roped off, and we're not allowed in. We couldn't go behind this rope.
Wait, so from the outside eye looking in, so you got to this club and you see Zack.
We got separated at some point. I don't remember why or what happened. It wasn't a big to do. It was just we got separated. I don't know if maybe we went to the bathroom or tried to get a drink or something.
Because you entered at the same time as Zack, so you got separated. Okay, so let's say you guys got drinks or whatever, and you go to rendezvous with Zack.
Yes,
and
he's across. He's across the way.
So you
but we're
walk,
all in the club. Yeah.
Okay, so you walk towards him,
and he's sectioned off. And we can't get in.
Oh, there's a whole bouncer.
Yes.
Excuse me, girls, it's the VIP zone.
Yes, exactly. And there was a stage or something, and I remember we could be next to, But I even think then we were getting like dirty looks because we were like too close, but like not behind.
So the VIP.
The-
So it was
Yeah.
elevated.
Yeah.
So the entrance to the VIP section was one thing, and then the VIP wrapped around like the perimeter of the club, and one end of it kind of came close to where the DJ was doing their thing, and so we went over there, and Zach came to the edge where he was about 6 to 8 feet above us, and was talking to us like peasants. And telling us the situation
You
of
felt
what
bad
was,
for me, bitches? How's it feel now?
what was going on.
Talk to you like peasants.
I spit on you. I spit on you.
And I
He's
just
like, what up, bitches?
That's exactly what I did
Yes.
as well.
And I just remember me, Sam, and Ayla being like, okay, so what do we do now? Because I can't remember like the reason why.
I know what happened. One of his friends, and I don't know who it was, got a VIP bracelet, went over to that ledge that was elevated, slid off the VIP bracelet, gave it to someone else. They went in, entered the VIP with their bracelet, did the same thing with like 3-4 of them. So fine, like beat the system, all for it. We're cheap college kids, like trying to have a good time.
There were way more people in VIP than should have been in VIP.
Right. So then, you know, when we're standing there like the sad puppy in the window when you leave.
Exactly how you looked.
I love how ready she was to explain that.
You look like the kid at the orphanage who didn't get adopted and the people picked Stuart Little.
That's how we felt. That's a really
in
accurate
another
way.
country.
Yeah. That's how we felt. So, Zach so kindly informs us that they've already used the bracelet too many times and they can no longer give it to anyone else.
Right.
And so
But Zach tells you can't do it anymore?
Yeah, so he's
After
like...
everyone else got in, but you guys didn't?
Yes.
As if there's a counter on the bracelet.
Yes. So
I
he's
shall
like...
wait my turn, but that is not what happened.
So he's like, look, like
Let it
we're in the
ride.
VIP, you know, we got in, we switched the bracelet, like, you know, I mean, honestly, I'll give him a little bit of credit, he was nice enough about it, like, oh, you know, we got in, we can try to get you guys in or whatever, but basically it was a no.
Yeah.
Like, it was a no. He was nice, but it was a no.
Yeah.
You're not getting in.
Yeah, like,
so,
sorry.
like, have fun with the other peasants that are poor, and we'll be up here, like, drinking Syrah.
Guys, it's not my
So-
fault that you couldn't get into VIP, alright? You couldn't afford it. It's...
Neither can
Literally.
Alright, continue on, and I will tell you what happened. What the real story is, I guess the jury will have to tell us, but that's not what happened from my perspective.
Okay, well, I am a witness because that's
Okay.
exactly how it happened.
We also got Snapchats from
Yes.
the other person. So I was getting Snapchats from the other person that you were with.
Okay.
Like these, I don't even remember what it was, something stupid like, oh, come meet us in VIP. I'm like, how?
Like,
How do you want me to get there? So we left.
Yes, no, but remember before we even left, we were like up against the wall, just like hanging out, and there was these weird men approaching us, and I remember being like, oh, sick, if Zack and friends were with us, we wouldn't feel so scared. So then, we
I didn't know that
left,
part.
we ended up on the
Not looking
beach,
up for you.
we're on the beach, sitting at a table, it's us three, again, creepy men around us, whatever, that's not really your fault. So, we're on this beach, now granted, we have no idea where we are.
Tala has mercy. Sam is like, fuck you. Fuck you. You ruined this entire thing.
Daggers in her eyes. It's
So,
like she understands, but she still has heat behind her.
I think I can win over Tal. I don't know if I'll ever get Sam.
so we end up on this beach, and I don't remember, I think it was Ayla. She was like, oh, our hotel is like right down there. Like, I remember seeing those palm trees like at the end of like where we walk for our
There's a lot
hotel.
of palm
I was
trees in
just gonna
Barcelona.
Oh,
So,
is there? I
Yes.
don't know.
Along the water, yeah.
What is like
There's a
the?
lot.
I'm sorry. Side topic. Like, what is the average like temperature there? More of like
It's nice.
Florida.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's like very like Florida-esque.
It's
I
quite.
don't know where it is, like equator wise.
It's quite temperate. Like once it gets to 50, people are wearing jackets, but it very
To us.
rarely gets colder than that.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
It's
okay.
fine, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
it
like
was
Florida.
nice.
It's very much like Florida in that
Yes,
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
It was
palm
nice.
trees and everything. Wow.
Right.
I need to go to Barcelona.
yes.
I mean, this sounds
10 out of
great.
10.
Yes.
People are wearing like.
Just go with a good group.
Yeah.
that will stay with you for the night, right?
Yeah,
Because you don't want to get like left.
Just pick who you go with.
You know what? Fuck this
Wisely.
podcast. I'm done.
It'll make or break your trip.
So now at this point, we're like, okay, yeah, like we'll walk. Like it won't take us that long. I'm not exaggerating. It took us 2 hours to walk back because we had no idea where we were. It just like wasn't really a great club.
It started off great and it ended terribly.
Yes, the brewery was good. The towers were good. And then it just went downhill.
We appreciate you getting us into the club and ditching us as soon as we walked in.
I mean...
Okay. So jury's intervening.
Yes.
Ashley, we've heard their side, right?
Yes.
We have our understanding of their side. Now, the defendant is going to come up to...
Do you have any questions before we move on?
Oh, true. Any clarifying questions?
No, not yet.
Do you need to interrogate us? Interrogate the witnesses?
But I just want you guys to know, like, hardcore.
Oh, your final statement?
Final statement.
Closing.
Zack left us in a foreign country.
So, the prosecution is gone. The jury has waited for the defense. The defense shall not defend. That's how court cases work.
I'm
right?
ready. I think that's how it works.
All right, I think so. I don't know.
Jury's ready to hear your plea.
All right. So I'm going to pick it back up where we kind of started the whole story where we met up on Los Ramblas and then we ended up going to the bar. So, yes, we ended up going to the bar. That was a good time, whatever. We were at the bar and I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go to the club. The reason we went to the club and the reason that we did get in for free and the reason there was no line is because Europeans love American idiots who will spend money in their club. They're like, you can come in for free, but you will pay for all the drinks, right? Mm-hmm. So the whole thing was, you drop someone's name. I'm already sensing so much attitude from Tal. It's wild.
I'm ready.
She's like, fuck your defense.
She's like, likely story.
No matter how this goes, you will always be a fault in my eyes. I thought I was gonna have a... Sam, how you doing? I'm focusing on Sam now. I thought I was gonna get Tal, apparently not. So there was this whole thing when we were abroad in Barcelona where if you drop the promoter's name at the door, you could get it for free. And it was this whole like racket that they were running where the American students come abroad, they have money, which I didn't, but many people probably do. And you go in and you get them for free because the fee is €20. So it's like, I'm not going to pay €20 and then $30 for drinks. Like,
charge. The same thing happens in cities in America.
Exactly, yeah.
I've been in very, very, like, a bunch of situations where it's like, if you know someone's name, you say it, you don't have to pay a cover.
Yeah.
But you still are paying $20 to $30 a drink. And that's at least in the places I've been.
And so the situation was like, there was this one guy who, like, every night of the week, this was his thing. He promoted clubs around Barcelona, like, whatever it was, all these different places. We always got in for free, and most of the time we got into VIP for free. So, you end up with a great night. You don't have to pay anything to go into the club. You don't have to pay anything for drinks because you end up in VIP, and you don't really do any work for it.
Yeah, and his name was Jeff. His name was Jeff.
His name was definitely not Jeff. It was significantly more foreign, but in this case, yes.
Jeff.
And we were in, right? And so, like, I'm thinking, like, yo, this is a perfect opportunity to show my friends a great time in Barcelona. Like, it had excellent intentions. It ended horrifically. Like,
It started
great, and it ended badly.
The club was cool. It had good potential. Until you fucked it up. But anyways, carry on.
Thanks. So
let the defendant defend.
minus 2 points for the prosecution. So I'm like, yeah, like, let's go to the club. I can get us in for free. So we got in for free, whatever. And I'm working on VIP. The reason we didn't all get into VIP was because we went to this other bar. We got there after everyone else. So the backstory to this is that there were a couple people who, like, really befriended the promoter. And they just, like, became his best friends, so that way they could get into the the club and into VIP every time. Like, there's no problem. It's like and it worked every time. The promoter saw them. They were like, yo, here's the wristbands. Get the fuck in. And so I'm not a big club guy, but it was just kind of the thing to do. And it was a lot of fun when you could get VIP, but I wasn't willing to work for it to the point where, like, I need this to have fun, right? So the guy that was had befriended the promoter was an okay guy, but I wasn't tight with him. We got along fine.
Debatable.
I'm kind of like, let's get into the club, let's get into VIP, it'll all work out. So I have the best intentions, but I need to get this guy to, get us in. Problem is when you go later, everyone's already in VIP.
Yeah.
When you're with the masses,
VIP fills up early.
Well, not that, but the problem isn't the people in VIP, it's the amount of bracelet or, like, wristbands that you can get. The wristband gets you into VIP, so you need the wristband to get in, right? That's your ticket into VIP, which in VIP, by the way, means like free drinks, free night. Like you don't have to pay for anything.
Whoa, Jesus Christ! This is like a Willy Wonka golden ticket. Oh my
So you
God!
can imagine our frustration.
Yeah. Oh my God!
So like, you know, a standard vodka soda in a club in Barcelona is probably like roughly 13 euros, so like $15 USD, right? And so it's an expensive night. But if you get into VIP, you are treated to high-end tequila, high-end vodka for free. Like there's no
Oh, so you're coming.
Just laying it on thick.
Yeah.
Just keep.
So he's
I wanna
coming from
know.
the side of a man of culture.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like a man
I'm
of
just
privilege.
trying to give the backstory, guys. Come
You
on.
are a man of privilege.
I am a storyteller. Okay?
I think
So-
you're telling it against yourself.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to tell it how I see it. If the jury rules against me, then I probably deserve it, but whatever. Anyway, I did not get a bracelet to get into VIP. That is where you're wrong. What happened for me to get into VIP was I'm texting the guy who has the connections and everything, and I'm with the other gentleman who we were with, who was like in my group that you were visiting with, right? And so I don't remember how he got into VIP, but I slipped into VIP simply by the bouncer looking the other way. I did not have a bracelet. I just kind of scurried in and like went up and over a couch and got in. No problems asked. And because I knew the people in there, I blended in very quickly because I was just talking to them and like it looked like I belonged, even though I didn't have a bracelet on. The problem is as soon as I got in, the fine gentleman who you thought was so nice and you like so much was trying to fight the guys who were trying to get us into VIP. So now I'm in VIP, my friends are outside of VIP, the guy who I brought with us who, you know, granted we were friendly at that point in time, is now trying to fight the guy who's getting us into VIP. So now I'm like, fuck. Like, it's pick which fuck to deal with. Like, there's a problem there and there's a problem there. This one's more immediate, so
It's two fires.
put it this way.
It's like I'm a firefighter. I can only put out one fire.
Yes, but put it this way. If that guy gets hit in the face by that guy, then none of us are getting in. So let me deal with that first. These two are hotheads. They're very, and you can both agree with that they are very prone to ready to just, spout off and start throwing fists. And the point is that if that happens, the night is ruined regardless, which apparently would have been better than what happened.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Honestly,
I should have just let that go down and we leave.
If you let us into VIP and let them two bozos get themselves kicked out, then like we all would have been in VIP
So-
and we would have had a great ass
So
night.
that's great in theory, but the problem is that I snuck into VIP, but to get 3 other people in a VIP, it was not going to work to just have you come over the couch one by one. Like, I needed bracelets. Like, I needed the wristbands. So I'm trying to get the wristbands as best I can. Meanwhile, I'm wearing a long sleeve button down, so, like, my wrists are not visible, so there's no issue with them being like, oh, yo, he's not wearing one. Like, I'm blending in, I'm good. So this is where Zack falls apart, because it's like, I picked the greater of two evils, and I let my really best friends down, and I completely was just like, the whole thing was a shit show. Like, it just fucking ended terribly. I had a great time at the end of the night, which is just gonna ruin this whole
you
thing.
did.
But,
I'm so happy for you.
I'm in VIP, trying to defuse the situation because I need this guy to get my friends into VIP, and I need this guy not to punch the guy in the face so that I can get my friends into VIP. I look over this guy's shoulder, and like the children that did not get adopted before Stuart Little, these girls are looking at me. And like they mentioned, VIP is bordering the main dance floor. It is right there. It's literally like, you can never get this. Like, this is not for you. No, this one is black nut. They were just looking at me like, please? Please get us in. Like, there was no...
Puppy eyes.
It was sad. It wasn't bad. It was sad. And so I texted somebody. Probably Ayla, because she was the contact for me for that night, because the one who told me. I go, I'm trying to deal with this. I'll be right there. Eventually, I forgot to be right there. Eventually, the girls are like, yeah, we're just going to leave. And I go, okay, I'll be right there. Like, I'll go walk with you. I'll go with you guys. Like, I'll leave, right? And so I offer to leave, and, and the girls are like, don't bother. Don't worry about it. We're just going to walk the beach and go home. And in Zack's head, which is a little bit inebriated, and 100% assuming that the girls are like, oh, it's no big deal. They're just going to go home. Right. Apparently this erupted into a lot more. I'm like, yeah, they're good. You're like, don't worry about it. So now I'm still dealing with the situation in the club, but I just was like, basically I was like, I'm going to pick this situation, deal with it, and then like, they'll be fine. Apparently they weren't fine. And I do fault myself for not just being like, no, fuck this. I'll leave the club and go with you. It was just like, in the moment, I chose one decision, and it was probably the wrong decision.
Okay.
Do you guys even need to make the decision? Apparently, I lose.
So final statement.
I fucked up. I apologize, but it wasn't like I was like oh, VIP's better than you guys. Like, I'm just gonna stay here. There was a reason that shit happened. It wasn't like on purpose.
Can I add salt to the wound that like he didn't even like sneak us a free shot of Ciroc or anything? No Grey Goose for us.
No, honestly, my only question is like, fine, we couldn't get into VIP, but why wouldn't you leave VIP?
I just told you.
No, but even like besides that fact, like you could have just been like, oh, like he's fighting with this promoter, but. So we're not even going to get them in VIP. So why don't I just be like, peace, VIP, they're here. I'll just go hang out with them out here.
So the promoter...
One would think.
The promoter wasn't the problem. It was the guy who knew the promoter who... So you got to think, like, I'm in school with all these people. So I need to be, like, on the same page, friendly, like, because you guys know the characters we're talking about. And, like, I don't want to deal with shit after the fact.
Right, but he put himself in that situation.
No, you are. I'm not telling you you're wrong. You're right. I'm telling you, in the moment, drunk in Barcelona, in a nightclub, in VIP, I chose one problem to deal with, and it was the fucking wrong one. Like I should have been like, dude, you're gonna get your face plowed in. That's a you problem. I'm gonna go with my friends and walk down the beach. Yes. I didn't do that. That was the right call, and clearly I was too immature to make that decision. 4 years later, I see your fucking perspective.
Thank you. So, jury?
Okay, the jury needs to make a decision. 1 second.
All right. We've come to a conclusion.
This is so professional.
So, Zack, it sounds like his intentions were very genuine from the beginning, but... we ultimately
I fucking
guilty.
hate Boston.
You fucking left us in Barcelona.
The penalty for leaving these two girls.
It was
naked and afraid.
Three
girls naked and afraid in Barcelona. Is 1 shotgun and 30 lashes by wet towel.
What in the fuck?
What does that even mean?
I shotgun 2 beers in a row before I go with the wet towel.
Deal.
What kind of medieval bullshit is that?
I thought it was gonna be drink a shot out of my belly.
Wait, Trace goes back.
No. Shut the fuck up.
Thank you guys. This has been absolutely amazing. We are so fortunate to have you here. This has been so fun. And you have roasted Zack. You have roasted me. And I hope we have all grown stronger together.
Dude, my ideal vacation is, let's hit up our nearest and dearest friends we haven't seen in like a hot minute and just have them ruin our lives on the internet. Apparently everybody else had fun. Anyway,
you guys will be back.
This has been the Call Me Larry podcast. Give us a like and subscribe, and whenever you're listening to it, really helps us out. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at CallMeLarry_pod.
Thank you guys, and we are so happy to have all of you on board. We got Sam.
Thank you for having us.
Ashley, her words were taken from her mouth. And we have Tao.
Thanks, guys. I love you.
We will see you all soon, hopefully. And this has been completely awesome.
Thanks for listening. Peace.
Whipping, I'm sipping, I get in the team. Yeah, getting the liquor. Yeah, hitting my brain, yeah, leaving me sicker, yeah, come up on me, yeah, my dogs, I'ma sick 'em, oh, sipping that good shit, stripping that green, yeah.